Afternoon, folks. Welcome to Goblet Games in Space. Quick check of sound. Yes, we're making sound. Excellent. We've got pictures on. Gosh, professional streamers right here, right in this hot seat right now. Welcome to Space, folks, and Goblet Games. My name's Millie. We're going to play some Coriolis. Sorry for the delay in the start of the stream. I was typing the name of the game and adventure we are running. It takes 7 weeks now. Coriolis, Mercy of the Icons, Part 2, The Last Cyclade, Act 3, The Cyclade Dance, Mission, Adventure, Curse of Rusha, Part 2. So long, many words, much stuff. How are folks doing? Where should we go in the opposite direction? Should we check in with Ben? How you doing, Ben? You all right?
Hello. Yes. I'm doing that thing where I've got the pictures over on the side of the screen over there. So I'm looking at myself on that side and I keep looking over there. And it's, consummate professionalism.
Absolutely every moment of the way. Are you surviving the weather, my friend? It's very warm.
It's a bit warm, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, you know, I can handle warm. It made of sterner stuff.
Good. You are surviving through the warmth. How is Shanaz surviving space?
She's had better days, I think. But you know, she's on Mirror. She's reached a goal location.
Yeah. Did you spend your XPs last week, or did you save them?
I saved them because Mematurgy.
Some Mematurgy. Very good. Graham, how are you doing with the weather?
Too bad, actually. I mean, to be fair, we have a fan in the room where I work most of the day, so you know that just kind of takes the sting out of it a little bit.
That does.
But I'm actually quite like it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's I don't go in the sun because I burn in like 5 minutes. So.
Pink, Graham.
Yes, I don't get sunburn myself in like 30 years.
I have a little line there. That's the bit that goes pink. From there to there, everything else is tan.
Nice. Baseball caps all round.
Definitely like top 10 palest humans.
Top 10 palest humans. Nice, yeah, that makes sense. And how is Silsilla?
Angry, I think, to be honest with you.
Yeah?
Like, all this stuff has happened. People are making all the wrong choices for all the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And we should probably go and get some afterburners and shoot them.
Oh, okay. Silsilla chooses war?
Or steal all their things. That also works.
Okay.
If we shoot them first, we might be able to take their afterburners and not have to pay for them.
Nice.
Oh, I like the thinking, yeah. And we are where our ship was built, so, you know, they must have stuff.
The Chaleb's dockyard is part of Mira, yes.
And we're on a mission for Berion?
I'll take your pick. We're on a mission for about 8 people.
You're on a mission for quite a few
We've
people.
We've collected all the side quests that tie up with the main quest.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from the last part, that's probably not true.
I think the interesting thing about this quest is you're doing the same quest for a couple of people. It means you can't please everybody.
That's our favorite kind, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't like most of the people that are employing us. So, you know, there's no concern.
Also true.
Yeah.
They're just giving us bird just to keep our ship flying. It's fine.
The Spider Network's fine. The Federation less so.
Okay. Cool.
Sorry, well, it's not the Confederation. The Consortium.
Very in. Pete, how is the weather treating you?
I also have to use cranium shielding devices, so I have got that.
Much more glamorous than hats, isn't it?
I've got the hat out.
Shields up, red alert.
So that's fine. Otherwise, I sort of go a bit like in the afternoon. But otherwise, enjoying it. I like wearing shorts to work. Scaring people with my legs.
Nice.
So that's fun.
Nice.
But I have been building wardrobes in the evenings, and building wardrobes in hot weather is not great fun. No. But I love building stuff, so it has been fun.
Like adult Lego style building, or
yeah. Yeah.
Back here would probably sell more stuff if they actually like sold it as adult Lego.
They probably would.
Hey, the price Lego is these days, all Lego is adult Lego.
Point.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is true.
Point. And how is Yusuf?
Yusuf is not sure about Mira, like doesn't know about it, not sure how he's going to help, other than reading people's brains in a room.
Mm-hmm.
Which he's starting to get better at, but he's disturbed by all the great unrest going on and the kind of horrible fascist edicts being levied, and wants to do something about it, but feels that he's powerless.
And did we get enough XP last time to upgrade Yusuf? Oh, we didn't check in with Silsilla either.
Yes.
What did we upgrade him with?
More mystic power.
Mystic
So I went up
power.
to 3 in mystic powers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did we pick anything for Silsilla?
I didn't know because work has been so horrendously full on. I might just go with Executioner because that sort of fits with his.
I might just go with Executioner.
Might ju-
Well, it's a feat that I know.
Sure.
And like.
But such a casual choice for such a
Just drives the bus.
talent. It's yeah.
I mean, with Point Blank and Executioner, yeah, I've been meaning to buy
Awesome.
a better gun for like the last 900 sessions. Every time I have money, I give it away. So at least it's better than a stick, I suppose.
Yeah.
You should have said, I'll ask someone nicely. You can have a gun if you want.
There you go. There's the talents page.
Ah, thank you. Thinking that maybe something slightly meatier than a pistol would be in order.
Okay. Big chunky weapon of
Ooh.
choice.
Okay, I'm going to look at what Combat Veteran does because that's also backstory linked. Oh, 9 lives as well. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Like Silsilla going through a chocolate box here.
Yeah.
All right. So while Silsilla is looking up some what is he colonial agency training manuals that he just happens to have on a tablet in his room.
Oh, 9 lives is the opposite of Executioner. That's cool.
Yeah, you get to shift the dice around.
And they cancel each other out.
Yeah, we just have to go with the dice. It's a good little roll. I like it. While Silsilla looks through these training manuals, tries to remember what he used to know how to do, or looks up his tradecraft.
I'm going to go 9 lives actually.
Oh, okay.
I think after not being murdered by what dogs, that kind of fits nicely.
Character has taken critical hit manipulation talent. Use critical hits more often, is what I've read there. That's what that means. Okay, all right, folks.
I mean, it is what it is.
We're going into
if I use all 9 lives in 19 darkness points, then that's just the way it's supposed to be.
Okay, but we're in the mirror system, trinary system, which Yusuf looked out of the window at. Wow, that's pretty cool. Mira, anti-Mira, and Manau, I think it is, the 3 of them. Top of my head. Complicated system. There's a lot going on. It is the home of the Church of the Icons. This is where it all kicked off.
Menau or Miracy.
Meow. That planet. But this is the home of the Icons. This is where the Church of the Icons began, and then spread throughout the horizon fairly recently. Quite a new religion in that sense, but this is the holiest of holy places. And Mira is the center of it. It's also home to the Circle of Seekers and Alon's Temple, which in turn is home, most noted for its courtesan academies. One here and one in Coriolis. Allegedly still in Coriolis. We contacted 2 people last session. One of them was an auction house who said, pay the fee, we'll give you a rendezvous. And you can come and talk to us about this auction. And then the other one was the head of a courtesan house who doesn't really have much of a house anymore because they've restricted the number of applicants and restructured. She's just sort of like I've got a big empty dome.
Yep.
Come and have some tea. So before we go off, are we all going to both of them together? Because obviously we can structure that either way. Like there's no the auction house have just given you a location, like a rendezvous point, and Halima has just said come and have tea and talk and biscuits and dulcimer lessons. So are we going as a group? Are we splitting up and
I think we were splitting up, weren't we?
So let's
I wouldn't want to subject my boys to dulcimer lessons.
I think it's the other way around. You don't want us to subject you to dulcimer lessons. We are learning.
Clang, clang. No, maybe. Okay. So before we split up, is there anything we want to do on the ship? Do we make any like?
I've made
programs?
some talismans,
Okay.
and I'm going to give one to Shanaz. It's a little dancer figurine.
Stand forward by saying,
Oh.
No, dancer isn't heretical. It's not like it's the beast
It's not the machine icon.
that doesn't exist. No such icon. Don't know what you're talking about,
Nothing
mate.
like that. No. Nothing like that. Okay, so we spend a little time. We do a bit of like maintenance and that kind of stuff. Yusuf takes a moment to carve some things, or has been at least on the way.
Yeah, on the journey.
On the journey and that
Like
kind of
with
stuff.
metal, scrap, and things like that. It's
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Weld, chip, fabricate, glue, mutter over, say things.
Solder.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice.
Macaroni and string.
Macaroni and string.
Yep.
Bit of glue.
That horrible glue paste that smells really weird. You know that one?
Yeah. Okay, good. Does Silsila do anything, or is he just happy to?
Silsila's probably slightly obsessively.
Okay.
Seeing if there's any more developments.
Since last session, no, none of the things, because we haven't really had like a lot of time.
Yeah. I didn't think anything would happen.
Is that he's just following up on that? Yeah, there's a lot of talk like for all its holy city, holy system and that kind of stuff. Mira has a big sort of fashion kind of market, and I guess what Silsila might notice in between all these sort of talking head kind of things and the broadcasts of famous sermons and philosopher seeker sort of ask the seeker problems, dear seeker, because that's what the seekers do. They deal with. There are also like this is the latest fashion, the latest thing. But what's strangely popular, because in the Shaleb stockyard, they make a lot of the graviton, the engines and that kind of stuff. There is a fashion trend rolling through some of Mira, very small little anti-grav things and floating capes and dresses. So like, I mean, it's essentially like Cape of Billowing, but space style. And this is rolling through like all the fashion houses.
I want one of those.
Shanazid, no. What happens on Mira normally turns up in Kua in like the next segment or so. Like, next.
Just saying, Shanaz has got that Nestara style grav belt, so just a little bit ahead of the whole fashion thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And now Silsila's like, can we sell enough t-shirts to start a second revolution?
What, a clothing revolution?
Well, no, because they're the Shabazz ones.
Oh, yeah. No. When Shanaz's IP solicitors get on to whoever is selling them, it's going to be a massive court case. It's going to be all over the bulletin.
We need to make sure that it doesn't come back to us, because those court cases are paying for the fuel for the ship.
So we should keep selling the things then.
Yeah, but discreetly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to have a fashion revolution, then we do it my way, not your way.
disgraced courtesan
just
in
wanting-
IP theft litigation on both
Self-IP theft as
self
well.
IP theft. Tonight we discuss the fall of Shanaz and Shanaz Industries. You, Jabal. Anyway, sorry, got sidetracked as we do. It's a good job your patron is the Red Spider, or they might be investigating that sort of scandal. Okay, so Cincilla's checking in on the news. What's going on in the local area? Shanaz, just getting ready, just making sure you are the fashionable courtesan everybody knows you to be, or toning it down, making a discreet entry.
Yeah, I think toning it down, going discreet, almost penitent
Mhm.
take, a quasi-religious vibe to it.
Okay. So I'm gonna make the assumption we're gonna drop Shanaz off at like a orbiting station or some way for her to get from the
30,000
Kudapatilla
feet.
and down. Just gonna base jump, like in a Star Trek film.
Don't use a robe, it's really a parachute.
Yeah. So we're gonna drop Shanaz off and then fly off to our auction house. Is that maybe
Sure.
the plan? Or is Shanaz gonna drop them off at the auction house and fly back herself? No?
Who's going
I-
to need to make a quick getaway in the ship?
I don't think Silsilla would let me take the ship on my own because I'd break it.
Kirsch can fly though, although I don't mind either way.
Yes, you're right. You should leave me and Kirsch with the ship. Good plan.
We did teach Kirsch to fly the ship.
Yeah,
but-
Kirsch has flown the ship, and Shanaz has partly piloted the ship way back on that ice moon.
It's true, yeah. Push comes to shove, I am fairly agile. Piloting is an agility thing.
It is, but it's an advanced one. So I don't mind making sure, Shanaz. We can drop you off. You can
It's
drop
fine.
us
Drop
off.
me off. Drop me off. You take the ship.
So we drop Shanaz off at like an orbital station, something where people would be dropped off, and then suborbital vehicles take us down to different places, depending on which pilgrimage route you're going to embark upon, which sort of icon you're going to see first, or whether you are just like a returning monk, because there's loads of monks and loads of nuns and things that come through Mira, and we're going to head down. So I'm not sure, I don't think it says in any of the atlases or anywhere where the Courtesan Academy is. But I
think you're right.
imagine the Mira Courtesan Academy would be quite large, and also right next to an Alarm's temple location.
Yeah, definitely.
So when we call it an academy, it's more like a whole campus. It's not like a thing. And I imagine...
I see it much more like a big whole university setup than one little high school or something like that.
Yeah. And then it's not just like... There must be a level of understated arrogance, I guess, because it's got to be bigger and better and more classical than the Coriolis Academy. It can't be...
Well, it's not difficult, is it? They can make it out of stone here.
Yeah. But, it's got to, like, have more space or more grander things. Its own dedicated temple, rather than the shared icon temple on, it's that kind of status, like, sort of thing.
Gardens and statuary and...
Yeah, and lecture halls, and its own, bigger enough to have its own... what do they have? On Mira, there is... Everywhere is like these small grav boats, little... I can't remember the name, but yeah, little grav boats, whereas other places they are more fashioned, like, speeders or carts or that kind of stuff. Mira likes boats for some reason.
like a gondola or a skiff kind of vibe.
Yeah. So they all sort of look like little rivers of stuff going backwards and forwards.
Punts.
But yeah, I think they're called a Jal or Dihal or something. I can't remember. off the
Oh,
top of my head.
Dow.
Dow, yeah.
Yeah, Dow are a lot bigger usually. They're small end of a sailing ship, but
Yeah. Well,
absolutely, yeah.
Mira loves them. And all of them will have like names of famous storytellers and courtesans and poets. And the academy on Mira doesn't just train courtesans, it also teaches people the art of rhetoric, and it'll train folks media training, how to present oneself, political training, and that kind of stuff, all these additional sundry sort of things. So going there, you like I assume this is not the first time for Shanaz to be on Mira, and in is
I
it
don't know, actually. I think she might have been when she was a lot younger,
okay?
probably early on, either before her courtesan training or in the first year of her courtesan training as part of an exchange program. Go to Mira, see the sites, learn what it means.
It is on the like. It depends on like how faithful Shanaz is as well, because Mira is on the Pilgrimaria, like this
Oh, there we go. She did a gap year.
gap year on a Pilgrimaria.
Yeah.
And it is part of the route you have to go to when you are going to complete this caravan around the horizon to take in all the holy sites, and it's like a once a lifetime kind of thing. But you know, there are always people who will do. I've done 5 pilgrimarias in the past 7
More
years.
holy than you, because
Yeah.
I've done 5. Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. Oh, this is my 10th pilgrimaria. I know all the best places to kind of thing. Which then, anyway, enough commentary on imaginary religious things. So the brief kind of time, the pass through you had when you were first here, it was bustling. Now you can see that, like, it's very obvious they've reduced entry and academic input and visitors. There are very few folks traveling in, and even on the vehicle you take a seat on, there's barely like 5 people on, where typically you'd expect it to have, like, you know, sort of shoulder to shoulder kind of tube style underground sort of feeling to it.
So it's the underground at 5 a.m., not the underground at 7 a.m.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you've got a whole bench to yourself, and the driver there is pretty much stoked to have somebody and running, rather than oh my god, I've got to get there and back in the next 10 minutes sort of thing. And again, that's a little bit odd, as it is coming close to like the Pilgrimaria. It's in like the next month or so, I think. I have to get the calendar out, but it's soon. So you'd expect people to be like, all right, well, I'm going to tie up this kind of stuff, or I'll arrive at Mira early so I can book seats and places for when it starts. You know, this is my first stop. I'm gonna do it in the anti-clockwise route, or you know, whatever. And it's not like, as you dropped off at the campus, like the sort of station kind of area. You wouldn't typically seen like numerous courtesans in training sort of shepherding, herding folks around, being like, oh, you know, follow me this kind of way for this kind of, you know, holding up signage and umbrellas, leading folks backwards and forwards. And there's just one young person on the platform. These other folks get off as if they know where they're going, and the other person like waits as you sort of step onto it. They're like, Shanaz,
Yes.
welcome to the academy. Halima has asked me to meet you and brought you to see her.
Wonderful. It's very quiet.
Yeah. We've reduced admission this term. We had
So I'd heard.
a number of graduations a little bit earlier than schedule. Appointments around the horizon. I understand it's because of the blockade. People wanted extra time to get to their first appointments and events, so we graduated
Naturally.
early. And then a lot of people have been refused this year, but luckily luckily, there are enough to service the future needs of courtesan contracts in the horizon. The next graduation. They walk through like immaculately pristine gardens, like beautifully white stone buildings, banners and flags and things of different sort of icons floating around.
Pilgrim Aria comes between Judge and Traveller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
By the looks of things.
we must be, I think we're partway through Judge.
Mm.
Partway through Judge.
Yeah, we started in Merchant.
Started like the start of the year.
I mean,
think.
this unit, this section.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Deckhand.
Yeah. Been flitting around quite a bit.
Yeah, we've been busy.
Busy. But yeah, this courtesan in training, they lead you through the gardens and through what you imagine would have been like a very busy sort of building. Like there are lecture halls and that kind of stuff. As you walk through, one of them you can see has somebody talking in like, you know, those amphitheater style things. There is a chap at the bottom. There's maybe 30 folks sat listening. There's, you know, it looks like they're going through some of like the classic poetry, sort of like, you know, I guess it like the equivalent of us knowing all the sonnets of Shakespeare, like making sure you know this. And like there's some fresh faced like folks scribbling frantically, and then there's others just sort of like casually. I know all these poetry. Of course, I know these kind of thing. Yeah, there's a couple of rooms further down. There's a small dance class going on. You can hear like the record being brought, or the track being brought back to the beginning, and somebody tapping something very aggressively as a, you know, a reminder of a beat, sort of thing.
Does the quality look better? Has there actually been an improvement in quality?
We need some kind of roll there to assess that.
Culture
roll, yeah, let's do that.
Because it's still not sitting right. I think there's a lot more going on here than the official story suggests. So let's culture it. But culture is 3 and empathy is 5. 1, 2, 3 successes.
3 successes. There's obviously an improvement in some of the folks because they've had a period of time of smaller class sizes. But these, like these new kids who you're sort of looking in, listening to them go, well, of course I know the story of such and such. Yeah, it's a bit like, well, if the quality was better, they'd arrive knowing this. Like there's no change in curriculum, but like the dance class you've gone past is much smaller than any of the classes you would have had, and these older students who are doing this dance class are obviously benefiting. They know stuff and they've got that kind of stuff. But the new courtesans in training, it doesn't like give any.
So the intake's no better; it's just smaller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just less courtesans.
Is there a lot more sort of adjunct teaching going on? Senior students teaching junior students, or is it still sort of tenured courtesan teachers teaching?
Now you look at it, all of the sort of like the dance class you went past, that was older students closer to graduations teaching younger students. the poetry and the literary side seems to be not. It seems to be more scholars than
Mhm.
established courtesans. Like they're teaching it like
So they've got the PhD students teaching the bachelor students, and they've got sort of experts that aren't from the courtesan teaching
yeah.
courtesans as well. Okay. Yeah, I see what's happening.
So sort of led through, like obviously this courtesan in training, your guide is very patiently like, oh look, this is advanced ballet. I don't know, these kind of like patiently not wanting to be like, can we get? I've got other stuff to do because they've got a graduated courtesan being called by a house matron. Not gonna sort of get in the way, but you do detect a very sort of, can we stop being nosy? I've got other things to do. Tone underlying everything. But she watches, she waits. She asks if you'd like to see any other particular classes or there's a rehearsal for one of the Pilgrimaria events. There's a dance sort of going to happen, which they'll do a display, a performance.
You've been more than patient. You've been incredibly helpful. Thank you so much for your time. Very kind of you to show me the way.
Obviously blush, but they blush like an untrained courtesan. And are very happy with themselves. They lead you on past all these big sort of places of training that are way below capacity, past quiet sort of library study halls where Shanaz trained on Coriolis, but you would imagine this is where people were literally trying to learn sonnets and poems and stories by rote, lest you insult someone for not having the exact inflection of the right thing from the original scripture, of that kind of stuff. Empty cafeterias, empty. It looks like they've got, a bunch of reheatable things rather than full service kind of stuff going on. Like it's quiet. You let it down into a dorm that, again, empty. There is not people screaming and running around and acting like fools. There's no showers going on. There's no steam rolling out a bathhouse or anything. And into what, you would remember, like the house matron's sort of suite on the top floor. The young courtesan knocks and hear Halima shout, welcome. And he opens the door and you enter and asks, would you like me to bring tea now or water, dates? Like, oh no, was this a test sort of moment?
Yes, of course it was a test.
Of course it was a test. Like, oh, I was doing so well. And Halima is just like, bring some water and some towels, some fresh fruit, and we'll bring tea in a short while. And the girl, like, oh no, I've had to be directly told what order to bring things. Leaves to cry in shame somewhere. Subtly cry in shame so nobody else would notice. Closes the door quietly behind her. And yeah, Halima, older courtesan, sat very sort of modest but pretty, very like the heavily kind of embroidered, but embroidered in the same sort of way. We've used a thread that is 1 or 2 shades lighter. You're only going to notice how rich and fancy this material is when you get close to me. From a distance, it just looks plain. It's like very subtle, very clever kind of design. She offers you like a space to sit. Like, tell me, was your journey difficult? Welcome to Mira.
Space travel can be a challenge at times. You know how it gets. We make do with what we must.
Certainly learning to make do with less interruptions to my day. Very quiet here at Academy.
So I noticed. And yet, if I may say so, not an appreciable increase in the quality of the intake.
Like the door opens and the girl comes back in, like obviously at this point, and
Perfect timing.
Yeah, Halima goes, no.
And we'll do the thing where we both switch into a completely different conversation about how lovely the meadows are in summertime.
Yeah, the Bene Gesserit finger waggling. No, so yeah, so Halima's like, no, there is a less of a choice this semester, and next year I think we will struggle. But the smaller class sizes will afford us greater attention to detail.
I think the intensity of learning will make a huge difference to the
puts down this
girls
tray
that manage to make it through the rigorous screening process.
Yeah. Leaves like, oh god, I'm gonna get expelled before anything. But yes, we've reduced intake. We've reduced academic. We've reduced faculty. Many of our more senior teachers have gone out into the horizon for, classic courtesan appointments.
I'm curious, how are they managing that?
Well, the temple makes the arrangements as you would expect for this. So you only assume there is a large amount of bear being sent back to the coffers.
It's just that with the shutdown on Erai, that wasn't Erai, was it? Which was the one that was shut down? Iwaz. With the shutdown on Iwaz and the region of space further around the loop being so dangerous, it must pose a number of hazards to anyone trying to move out into space.
I believe there are a number of agreements were signed with some of the folks holding these blockades. It's hard to stop a courtesan when she wants to go where she needs to.
That is true. I find myself in that position more often than not. It does open doors and pathways.
Well, what brings you to Mira?
History, study, curiosity. It's been a long while since I was here, and I felt it was an appropriate time to return to, well, in many ways, to advocate on behalf of all of the girls who were lucky enough to be trained elsewhere and who may miss a chance through this reduction in capacity.
I think it's a delicate situation. Representative Lette at the council may have been aware of some of the changes on the agenda. This Humanite Acts, obviously we greatly object to. And I know that soon they will make a request to the council to repeal it. There's a number of things in the horizon right now where I think the senior board and the priests of the temple need to be sure where people's loyalties lie.
Understandably so. I have a fairly accurate picture of what's going on. I've been quite active in discussing things. I wonder if there are a few others who I'd quite like to speak to while I was here. There's a scholar by the name of Gina Mansouri, who was formerly based on Coriolis. I was told that she'd been recalled to here. And I wonder if Hera, who was the liaison on Caladrina, has been home recently.
She raises an eyebrow like 0.5 millimeter when you mention Hera from Caladrina. It's funny you should mention Hera. although herself and I are of differing opinions. I know she has ears in the temple, and she visibly looks around, kind
Wow.
of like to check things, and does that thing where like she's gonna start like pouring tea or something, like a noise, white noise sort of situation. I've heard there is some sort of gathering happening. Not all of us are. Not all of us have been invited. A coalition of folks have being formed. Heard of a lotus gathering somewhere in the horizon. People I have, my contacts, are not necessarily able to find anybody in agreement. Speaking of old pacts being reformed, differing situations of agreement in courses of action. History repeating itself has been one outcry. Hera, as I understand, is instrumental in some of these agreements. She came back from Caladorina with some very interesting discoveries.
Disturbing information?
Very. Have you heard the phrase cadaver clock before?
I have not, no.
Neither have I. And that in itself troubles me.
That is interesting, because I was able to give Hera some very interesting information to bring back while we were at Caladrina. I wonder if that has set some things in motion.
Either way, factions within temple and the courtesans themselves have been split. I'm afraid the Coriolis Academy was a victim of these splits. I think those at the very core of the courtesan and Alarm's temple are making sure that they know who they can trust.
With a little distance from Coriolis, I can see why. Much as I would love to believe that it is the bastion of hope and freedom in the horizon that it claims to be, recent evidence suggests otherwise. And it could be that I have some useful intelligence that may be presented to the council, to the temple, if they were willing to hear it.
Well, I'm sure word has been spread that you've been seen on campus, so no doubt somebody will be in touch if they need to. In the meanwhile, I can contact Gina Mansouri, see if they're available for scholarly lectures, private
That would be
tuition.
wonderful. Indeed, I was hoping to study some of the histories with her.
Nods. She shouts. I don't know what the girl's name is, but she shouts the name. Girl, yeah. Jessica. Jessica, we'll call her in a way. And then she arrives, not with a face like, no, I brought the tea and I brought the towels and I brought the water and the fruit. What did I forget? And she, Halima is like, please escort Shanaz to the bathhouse. I'm sure she would like to relax while I make some contacts and calls. Shanaz, please ask Jessica for anything you might need while you're here. And if you need your clothes pressed, and she just rattles off like a dozen menial tasks that you could force upon this poor courtesan in training.
Oh, that poor girl.
And then she no doubt makes some kind of remark, but don't ask her to sing after the last lesson. I think we've agreed that'll never happen again. And child withers slightly and is like, yes, Mistress Shanaz, this way. I'll show you to the bathhouse.
Okay. In which case I shall turn into bad influence auntie Shanaz and instruct her to go and get some wine and 2 glasses and to bring that to the bathhouse.
Excellent. Shanaz.
Yeah.
This is why Coriolis Academy got closed down.
Yep.
Bad influence of Coriolis courtesans. All right. So while Shanaz is in the bath, what is the plan? We've got this location. It is a small orbital station, private station called Eb Dinesh. You're given a rendezvous, like where it will be in orbit, kind of thing. It's got this weird, like long orbit around. I think Manau, off the top of my head, but not Mira. So it like there's a little bit of a fly out, and then you have to do a little bit of trinary astrogation kind of thing going on to meet it at the right time. Yeah. So what is the plan? Like, are we going to try and?
It has a plan.
Oh,
It has
okay.
occurred to finance the reforms and the reforms. Do you think we can mine Lord Varian? Because he thinks we've come here to pick something up
Right.
that he's already paid for, but
Yeah.
actually it's being auctioned. So we can just tell him that and explain he's going to have to cough up more money if he wants it. And then,
Sounds good to me.
take the money and find some good causes.
Like Varian didn't give you money. He gave you an authorization with a Havela, like a money broker.
Yeah,
Like he's not actually going to give you burr.
I understand that.
Okay.
We need some discretionary funds so we can swing it around a bit. And
Exactly, yeah.
do we know what it is?
We don't know what it is, but we do know
Just a relic,
the
right?
item is called the Blue Rose.
The blue rose.
Yeah.
Unimaginable power.
Oh my no, cosmic power. Itty bitty power sauce.
So we could just drop him a message saying that, just saying, just a quick update. I'll call him V Daddy.
V Daddy.
He wants to be friends with me, so I'll make that awkward and uncomfortable.
The thing about this, though, is like we look at this map, right? So we are where the X is, and Varian is. Oh no, not that one. Where are we? Varian is. Varian is here in orbit of Kua.
Yeah.
And we've got to rely
So how long
on...
would it take to get the message there? Or...
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
Anyway, and if he doesn't respond, he doesn't respond. And if he doesn't respond and we don't get it, then we can say, well...
What do we have? We have the contact details for the local broker, right? For the
money. Amand Bolus is the...
Amand Bolus.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll send Varian a quick update about things. Not quite as they were made to appear. There's some sort of big auction. Everything sounds a lot more expensive than was previously anticipated.
So this is also going to go potentially through the blockade communication relay, which will no doubt be read by the people holding the blockade.
So all in hushed code, right? So the party's bigger than we thought, and we may need to have a few more drinks than we planned on.
Catering for that.
Exactly. But your local party planner will furnish us with everything we need. We just thought we'd let you know.
He needs to know a nod and a wink.
Just need to authorize the check. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we send this ridiculous message to Varian back on Coriolis about a party and cakes being more expensive, and we need to authorize.
I assume that the consortium includes the Colonial Rangers, doesn't it? So
yeah,
I would word it so that he knows what I'm saying, but it's not super obvious.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm still going to call him B Daddy though, just
Okay.
so in case anyone else reads it, then has to explain it.
And is it a text-based one, or are you sending like a video?
No, I'll do a text-based one, I think.
We send him a text.
No need to keep straight faces on camera for Yusuf and Silsila
Um,
then.
Adia meets you before you dock, or you, whatever the plan is, and asks like, "Is this the sort of situation where me and Kirsch need to get the deck chairs on the loading bay and those guns you gave us last time, carbines,
I don't think so.
or is this the sort of situation where we can, have a bath, eat some tea?"
Maybe halfway between the two, right? Maybe be ready, but we don't want you out front with the guns.
Okay, not like on Debaran.
Not where you're doing like laps and lengths and
Yeah, I mean, what we're walking in seems it's very different to what was advertised, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
We just might piss some people off and have to get out of here quick, right?
Oh, stay on the bridge, keep the engines running.
Yeah, someone near the gangplank with a gun, and someone up on the controls.
Okay.
Take the coffee machine to the cockpit.
Taking it up there is just got everything plugged in properly, and then, like Adia looks at Yusuf and like, we've just sorted all that stuff out, right? Okay. All right, fine. And then
Don't worry, he's got a little espresso.
probably an espresso.
Yeah.
All right.
I like to think we've got the shit collection ever. Like none of them match, and all of them face missing and stuff like that. We still like pinky finger them all.
No saucer on some of
Handles
them.
are all broken off. You just have to hold them like annoyingly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Adia like nods and they walk off, and you can hear the Kirsch like they get further down like the way, and Kirsch is like, "We're gonna have the sword back." And Adia's like, "No, you can't have the sword back. We're not gonna kill everybody who comes onto the ship. It's fine." But there were big bad dogs. Like that kind of conversation as they disappear. Like there won't be bad dogs. It's not like gonna be one of the.
I mean, we're not going to get in any trouble. Who do you think we are?
Adia knows who you are. That's why they were asking. Yeah, but there's this conversation like Kirsch clearly wants to play with the Mercurium sword again, which sounds like a terrible thing to give a. But do we like Okay, so how do we go? Do we go, sneakily? Do we want to like, because we're a blockade runner, we can quite,
Oh, you mean?
Yeah, like what is like?
How do we exit? I was like,
game face, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, do you get there and poke around a bit? Do you arrive and in system and in the area and be like, "Up, we're docking. What do you want to do?" Like,
Yes, we've been given the location and set up for the auction, right? We should maybe buzz them before just landing and say,
I don't want to expecting us, because that kind of marks us out as a bit watch out for. Whereas if we just show up like we're good customers with lots of money and we'll legitimately buy the weird thing they've got, and not be a person.
And do you contact the Havela?
Yes, and the
first?
other one, the
Amand Bolas, we want to sort out
so
some
he's
money.
your money broker, the Havela.
Yeah.
You call this person up. They appear on screen. They're wearing like quite gaudy sort of not chemise, kaftan. Is that the word? Yeah. Like shirt stuff. Got like a cap on. You can see like behind him, it looks very like opulent. There's like big.
He's going up against the wall, isn't he?
Yeah, big cushions full of stuff, piles of like things, or fruit and dates and all that kind of stuff and that kind of thing. And he's like, "This is Amand Bolus Havalia. Can I help?"
We're calling up to arrange the transfer of funds from Varian for the auction, the acquiring of his requirements. So we'll need the funds transferred so we can engage with the target facility.
Oh, with Aberdeenesh. If you give me the authorization, you won the lot. I can transfer the money to Aberdeenesh with a confirmation. You can take that back to Varian at the foundation. They will forward the funds to me.
Okay.
I think we could have docking fees and an entry charge as well that we need to cover off. So if you could transfer 3,000 Burr now, that would really help.
He looks at you in a like, no. But if you would like to make an opposed manipulation roll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over
Those are
here and roll
dice.
Four dice.
Doing my best Shanaz impression.
I love it. I love it. Bounce.
I'm like, come on.
Solid effort.
Yeah.
You do you, buddy.
We'll see. I got 4 dice.
Oh, nice.
I didn't get anything.
Do you want to
Should
push?
I
Yes, a lot
push?
Did you push?
You got
Yeah.
4 dice in
Yeah.
bonuses.
Why not? Here we go. Let's give it a go. Why not? I got 2 successes.
Wow.
Hey.
I need to find the right thing because you pushed, which means I get to do this.
Yep.
There we go.
A nice round 20.
A nice round 20. Yeah.
He whipped my butt.
No, he didn't. He didn't actually get any successes. He says it's not normally how it operates, but I appreciate.
I think they're taking advantage of us, but look, can you help us out?
He says the foundation doesn't normally make trades with Aberdeenesh. It's a little bit unusual for them to be authorizing this situation. So I can understand why you've been. And he like rattles off reasons why it's out of the ordinary, and he basically sends you. It's not like. I guess it's like a transactor code, and then when you enter it into your it's all traceable. Like when you enter it into your transactor,
Sure.
it locally goes, yes, you've got access to these 3,000 bear kind of thing. And he sends you information like if you win the lot, I can have these funds transferred within an hour or so of approval. Sorry, of an hour or so of authentication. Good luck.
And so sky's the limit, right? Okay, cool. We'll
He
we'll
doesn't.
contact you soon.
He doesn't say there's like an upper. He doesn't say there's a limit on the stuff.
Mhm.
He's just like, good luck. He probably is quite invested in you making a lot of money, or spending a lot of money because he'll get a big percentage on it.
Yeah, big fee. Yeah.
Right then.
Thanks very much.
But yeah, he sends this code. You beep 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 beep. Little transactor goes brrr, bing. 3,000 bear. And then we travel up.
I'll end the communication and I'll be like, got some money out of him to Silsilla.
Yeah. Maybe we have to learn like one Shanaz step at a time.
Well, it's like people with millions of Burr don't miss 1,000 Burr, right? So I was thinking of just like some change that they might throw at the poor people. So
I thoroughly approve. All right, I suppose we better go and win then.
Well, look, I don't think there's any limit to our funds from the sounds of it. So we should just, we can win it.
Just whatever it is.
And then what we do is we talk to them and say, look, we'll cut you in on some extra cash if you give us a bill for a higher amount.
Mm-hmm. Read my mind. Wait a minute.
I bought one of those flowy capes and it's got the gravity stuff, but it only does it when I put my hand to my temple.
That's the key gesture.
My Magneto cape.
Billows. So we dock with Aberdeenesh. You suddenly realise the station, the platform you're docking with, is named after the person who runs it. It's like Aberdeenesh and Aberdeenesh. You dock. Instead of going into it's very reminiscent of Caladarina, as mentioned the spa, because you come out it from your dock into like a suite, or similar to going into Alkmaar's, as you go up the lift but you come out into a suite. And there is it's empty. And you just sort of like walk into this luxury room. You can see like Adia like looking down the corridor. They're like, okay, closing the door, bye. And you like punk kind of thing. You're just there, like big pillows and divan and drapes and tasteful pictures and that kind of stuff all around.
Any fruit bowls?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's like a hotel.
Yeah, stop putting everything in your backpack.
Satsuma in my pocket.
Yeah. And after a short while, like the painting that we know is not a painting, it's actually like a monitor of some kind. Lights up. It's got this beautiful sort of logo. It's all sort of gilded and sparkly and that kind of stuff of Ebdinesh. And it says like, please wait, you are being connected to the auction house sort of thing. And
Or like high roller, and I thought this was going to be some guy in the back of a warehouse or something stuffed in a box.
3,000, 3,000, 3,000, shouting like that. No, this
Those
is.
little handle things.
maybe.
You could hold
But
up
let's not bid against each other, right?
I was going to say, can you hold up somebody else's hand?
I mean, like 5,000 and Satsuma, like 6,000. We're like, shit, we're working together.
Shove you out the camera, yeah.
After a moment or so of this hold screen, it cuts to a video feed of you two in the room. Like it shows you they're watching, kind of thing. Yeah, you look around.
Oh, look unimpressed.
Yeah, and then it cuts to a feed outside of your ship. Like they've obviously got some sort of drone move around the outside of the ship. Reminding you, we can see you, you know, that kind of stuff. Like it's obvious, there's an obvious sort of you are being watched kind of vibe here.
I will mark out loud that seems heavy hand.
And then,
I mean, unnecessary, really, Sil, right? I assumed we'd be monitored when we came in. It's a bit.
Amateur.
Anyway. And then after a moment, a woman appears on screen. She's got like tattoos all down her neck.
I thought you'd say a beard. I was like,
no,
okay.
Tattoos like not like on her face, but from like her neck down.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And she has like a headscarf sort of over her hair. And she looks at the screen. She's obviously like got an image of you two. Like, so these are the folks who arrived 2 days late for the auction and expect to still be part of the auction. We thought you were
Fashionably late.
And she's like, we thought you perhaps were here to try to start a heist or some ridiculous situation.
I love the concept.
Well, yes. Well, blockade or not, you were late for the auction and the auction has been completed in your absence. Everything on that menu has been sold. You wish to wait, there is another auction in, and she glances down, 15 days?
So the artifact, sensibly, things changed in the last few weeks.
Shakes her head. No. We've always been a broker for a number of items. Believe your contact has been aware it was they were not the only bidder.
Yeah, our broker didn't know that the auction had already happened, and we spoke to them on the way here as well.
The money broker and the person who's give Varian this information are two different people. Like
Okay.
She doesn't know who your Chavala is, like who's going to pay
Well,
the bill. She's talking to whoever whoever booked this seat for you knew about the date.
Did we ever get a date from Varian?
He didn't give you a date, but he did say get there. Like he made the assumption, like if you go now, there was like a
Yeah, that's not
Go.
really useful, is it? Like not telling us the very specific deadline. Well, look, they're just wasting our time now. So we calmed them on approach. They could have told us that. You know, they'd let us
they did
dock and
tell us,
come
yeah.
in and steal their fruit, and now we're going to leave.
We're going to use the bathroom first, though.
yeah, you can,
Oh.
yeah, like the woman like nods. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Please
oh, yeah.
enjoy. You must get your fees worth, as it were.
So I know you're going to say no to this.
Hmm?
I know you're going to say no to this, but I would be remiss if I left without asking this question. Who won the auction?
The successful bidder, obviously.
Answer. Good. Also, the fee we paid was for what exactly?
Oh, for entrance into the auction house.
Funny, it wasn't like perhaps put across that way when it was asked for.
Well, we business folk, like you inquired, you wanted to come. We had to see whether you were genuinely the folks who had missed their auction.
Make any sense? I'm not sure that the people whose money will be that happy with that explanation.
If they wish to continue purchasing items such as we procure, they really have no choice.
I love it. Excellent business sense.
Do you have the program from that event that we could just review to see all the things we missed out on?
Yeah.
I mean, we may as well take our back as a souvenir, right?
I want to know what the bloody blue rose is.
she presses like she obviously looks down at some sort of tabula, and then your tabula gets like you've received this sort of notification kind of thing. It's like this list of things. They're all stuff like blue rose, purple shadow,
Code names.
yeah, like there's
Does it feel like fake names for stuff?
like,
Prince albums.
yeah. None of them have like descriptions in the
Okay.
list. Like I guess Yusuf will perhaps this is like sort of plausible deniability. Like this auction house are going to be like, oh, we just sell things that people give to us. They knew
Sure.
what they were buying, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But,
That's what I was thinking now.
yeah, based on like the fee just to dock, that kind of stuff. These folks are saving up.
So
big
how
legal
many bird do we have to transfer for you to tell us who bought the blue rose? Your business people, right?
She laughed, and thinks like, do you know? I don't think I would be in business much longer if you told me who this. If you paid me to break confidentiality. That way, you mind walk.
I mean, that was going on after it.
Is that where psychic shenanigans happen?
Yes.
Okay. Make a mystic powers roll.
But again, I'm thinking of the right things.
I'll start to try and play guess who. Like, do they have a beard? Blonde hair?
Get the details.
Yeah, I
We're in
mean, you
the
want them
head.
to think about it, don't you? So if I just start guessing, they should obviously be like, no, yes in the head.
3 successes.
Excellent.
I don't do that. I don't like.
Boom, brain explode.
My cape starts moving up, and I'm like, oh no, hang on, no, I don't want to give it away.
A scanner, obviously.
She thinks of a face that Yusuf has not seen since the beginning of this book. Remember Nadina, the person who hired you to get the green, the emerald disc.
Yeah.
She thinks of her. The one that we were like,
person who I've met.
yeah, person who you've met.
who I can mind walk to figure out where they are.
Thinks of Nadina.
Okay.
And
These satsumas are lovely, by the way. I'll say eating one.
yeah, fresh from I don't know, Otakon. No, it's not Otakon because that's not a place. It is a place, but it's not a place that you get satsumas from. Fresh from Manau. Meow.
Meow.
Have
Meow.
a catalogue for the next auction then?
I do.
Yeah, oh, that'd be interesting.
And yeah, again, there's a
It comes out
notification.
with green trumpet.
Yeah, there's
yellow
a bunch
drum.
of stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess if the last one was all like flower themed, like blue rose, yellow daffodil, pink chrysanthemum, and all that kind of stuff. This could be like square trumpet, rectangle drum, that kind of stuff.
Rectangle, triangle.
Yeah, rectangle, triangle.
Circle tambourine.
Yeah. Just like a list of stuff like that. No descriptions.
Sure.
They do.
I'll look at it. I'll be, now that is going to be interesting.
They do have starting bear, like bids will start at kind of thing. And the other one would have had the same actually. The blue rose was 50,000 bear.
That's cheap.
Okay.
Start with.
Yeah. Oh, starting bid. Right. Okay.
Yeah, bids beginning at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. I mean, do we just stay here till the next auction then?
She shakes her head. She says, "No, you're welcome to eat the fruit and use the facilities for an hour or so, but then I will be cutting off oxygen in the location, and you required to leave."
No messing around.
Yeah, just like, no, get out my gaff.
I like her, Sil. What's your number?
Says, well, for a fee.
Space.
For a fee? No.
For a fee, you can have my number.
No.
Not our money.
Yes. Why did I pay him?
I'll be like, do you reckon she'll write us a receipt, an invoice for the money for the blue rose if we split it with her and get 200k out of?
I don't think so. Oh, my business is important to me. Think is genuine.
Yeah. Will they find out? I mean, Kua's about to. I mean, all hell's breaking loose, right? There's blockades everywhere, all kinds of shit going on. Anyway, I'm going to go to the. I'm going to use their facilities.
Yeah, I don't trust it to pay up, so yeah.
Cool. We enjoy the facilities.
I stuff all of the little bottles and the soaps and everything down the toilet and wedge it with toilet roll.
We wreck parts of the auction station.
No, I just like block the toilet, like really kind of just like, and then just leave and grab a couple bits more fruit.
Destroying plumbing. Like, is she the bar person?
Aberdanesh. Yeah, that's who she is. Yeah, she's Aberdanesh. This is her station. This is her auction house.
Like, get and go for.
I'm guessing from where we landed, right? We've been given access to a little bit of the station.
Like literally a
She
suite.
keeps everyone physically separate, so we can't get to her.
Yeah. She's somewhere.
Not that she's like beaming in a message from somewhere else.
No, like everybody would be quite aware of like delays and like the
Okay,
difference.
cool.
It is instantaneous, so she's either very very close
she's
or
next door
on the station. Like
sure.
Like a hot.
Yeah.
Potentially in a middle suite where she can see the feeds
With
of all
guns.
the rooms with guns and guards and cool shit.
Cool.
But yeah, she makes a little bit of small talk and then is just like,
I'll ask if it has any like be interested in charging your employers for like, I don't know, like a sniper rifle. Yusuf, what do you want?
Oh, that's a good question.
oh, okay. So you wish to hire us to procure items? No, we don't.
You don't do that kind of stuff. Okay.
Have some kind of stash of things to sell.
No, we don't sell anything of our own. We accept
You
goods.
don't do impulse purchases.
Yeah, no, we accept goods for auction.
Ah,
We hold them so that there is no double crossing,
I would
misadventure.
I would have thought the kind of people that you attract would appreciate, some sort of,
Sniper rifle with every WMD sort of thing.
maybe
like a
some
gift shop on the way out.
gift
No.
shop. Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
We've got T-shirts actually. Do you have T-shirts?
It doesn't bode well
They
to
don't.
give
They don't have
people
t-shirts. They're not.
guns
They're not at that level.
when we wish to remain impartial. We don't deal.
We've got guns
Yeah, I mean,
we
already.
we
So what's the
only
point in
give you
giving us a few more bullets?
No, we don't. We don't sell. We don't retail. Not, and she gets very frustrated. Like, I'm not a leave me a very high class auction.
You're missing out on some sales there. I tell you what, there's those little extras. They always, you got to upsell. Yeah, got to build, get those baskets bigger. Come on.
And there's this level of like, do you know what? Like, this is plausible criminal activity, deniability.
Anyway, look, we've got to go now, Amber. It's been really great. Really nice meeting
and
you.
the screen just cuts off. It like just goes like.
And I'll shout out. Someone needs to fix your toilet as I walk out.
What a parasite business.
Oxygen will be depleted in 3 minutes.
Please.
Heating will end.
3 hours of WOO. What's that? Without oxygen.
Yeah. Okay.
Radiation shielding will be withdrawn in 19. Yeah, all these. Yeah. But yeah, she gets immediately frustrated at this. Like, why don't you sell us shit?
Good.
She's like, I don't sell things. I'm just an auctioneer. I'm a legitimate businesswoman with my tattoos and shady fee only.
Which part of Algo?
Maybe. But yeah, Abba Dinesh cuts the feed, and then there is like a polite warning that says oxygen depletion in 3 minutes. You block the toilet, take a bowl
Grab
of
the fruit. Yeah, and walk out.
a cushion.
No, I don't want any of the cushions. None of that decadent crap.
Consumables.
Just some fruit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll take a few selfies before we go, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, with the block toilet.
Send them to Shanaz. Yeah.
Just to, I don't know, be awkward and be like, you may well have turned the oxygen off, but that doesn't mean we're going to run out the door with our tails between our legs.
okay.
We should wait till it runs out and see how long we can hold our breaths. No, we'll just go.
Like that. Yeah.
Oh, actually, when we do go, I'm going to see if the moneylender can cancel the transaction because they failed to hold up their end of the bargain.
With the fee for
Yeah, the fee we paid for the auction that had already happened. Yeah.
um
And we'll send Varian that message as well.
okay.
The guy we called, who's the
Amand.
Okay. I was surprised he didn't know the auction had already happened as well.
Amand is not
I
like
think it's just like a money
it's
guy.
just like
He's
your,
just, yeah.
your bank
But we've got
manager
that 3
knowing-
grand. That's in our pocket, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll tell him let's see if he can cancel it. At least it's an annoyance for not just communication's quite good in the future technology, isn't it? Even
Okay.
now, you could have told us we've got anywhere near.
Okay. So we send Amand, please cancel the payment to Dinesh.
To non-delivery.
And the credit card company to complain.
Yeah,
Okay.
non-delivery.
Yeah.
Okay. He obviously is like, I need some details for these forms.
Yeah.
Click. Let me transfer you to my customer service department. It's just a gin. It's like a ship gin. Like,
Yeah.
We need one of those.
please state the nature of the
Accounting
card.
emergency.
Yeah, credit card fraud. The
Accounting
ship,
error.
yeah, the accounting error. We leave the station.
I turn to Silsilla and say, once we're clear, Nadina bought it.
I am surprised she's still alive. She was running for her life when we met her. Like, that was her last chance to kind of not be murdered by the colonial agency. It did not go well. If I remember rightly, did you not overhear those Marines saying that if it didn't go well, they were going to kill her? They'd
Yes.
actually been told to kill her and us, I think.
Yes.
Interesting. She sounds like someone who needs some friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out, I think.
Excellent.
Go and look. Different pages in the book.
Mate, Millie. Sorry, Millie. I try not to do this too much because I know it's really painful.
No,
But
it's good.
this seems like it's a good thing, a good time to do it.
It's
So I will.
certainly the most surreptitious way, rather than going asking questions about someone who's almost certainly using a fake name, which only gives you a description, and people asking why you want to know.
Because I could do it two ways. I could mind walk her because I've met her and I can literally do it
Literally do
whenever. Or I could do clairvoyant on the blue rose.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't actually know what it is, you see. That's why I was trying to find out any details. I've just got the name. I don't actually know what it is, so I can't clairvoyant it.
Yeah,
I could
okay.
clairvoyant her, but I might as well mind walk her because then I get to see what she's seeing rather than
You
just
speak to
ping.
her.
I can do thought transference, but let's see what she's doing first. If she's going, then
Limited
maybe I
love.
won't go, hey, remember me?
My giant space laser.
Okay, I got one success.
Okay.
On 7, which isn't great, but
Okay,
still
so
2.
we mind walk into a ship, quite a big ship, and she's on the bridge of this ship with some other folks, and as you look around,
Any panels that say anything interesting? Thank God we've arrived in the so-and-so system,
Thank
and we're
God
going to
we
be here for the next 27 days.
She's like checking her Airbnb
Staying,
reservation.
her itinerary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the folks around her on the bridge are all in the Zenithian naval uniforms, like it's a military bridge kind of
Okay.
thing. No, the Zenithian hegemony is the because the first come arrived before them, and therefore they are scum. So she's on a Zenithian military ship. It's a naval ship, not a legion ship. Like you need to, because there are so many factions. We just need to make sure we're
they're all
aware of
quite
the right-
militant.
Yeah. So she's on a Zenithian ship, and like there's obviously folks doing all kinds of military gubbins around, and they are just talking with somebody who's obviously a senior officer. She's got like a tabula in her hand, and it's got like, don't know if it has, it's obviously some sort of mission order or mission kind of listing, and she is talking to this officer. Is like, we're gonna have to run the blockade. We have to get this back to Coriolis. This is very very important purchase, very important acquisition. I need to take this back to the Astaban. And that's a bit like saying the Obsidian Order or that kind of stuff. Like they're the secret
Astaban.
Yeah. Astaban. And
I realize I can't.
yeah, so I need to take this back to the Astaban. My superior officers will want to get this to the right departments as soon as possible. We should put it in a stasis chamber, a stasis coffin. No idea what this will do through portal space. and they're like, well, and then the captain of the ship is like, well, that's ridiculous. How would they have gotten it to Mira if they haven't traveled through? It can't have come, traditional travel. That would have taken months. She's like, well, I don't know how long they've had it, but I have no details of how it came from. What is it like the Oticon system? I've no idea how it came from Oticon to here. We should take every precautions. It's very old. We've had no information on how it would work otherwise. The captain's like, well, is this going to curse the ship? Should we get everybody into the stasis chambers early? Should we? I don't think we've got anyone who could perform any blessings or ritual. I could make some offer it. And she's like, no. Look, no need for excessive superstition. We should just be prepared to come out of the portal, ready to initiate combat if we need to, and immediately prepare to make the jump to Coriolis. I guess at some point around there, it would sort of.
Does that number of jumps just tell me what system they're in? Because if it was a couple of days ago.
So if we think.
So the blockades at Iwas, right?
Yeah. So they're probably the next one over.
Yeah.
At Zalos maybe, but if they've made the jump into Zalos. They've done it either aggressively or they've got some sort of way through.
Yeah.
Or they've moved out to. They've gone the other way. But if this is an Ithian ship, like jumping into Zalos, there's potentially like we've come to, extract our. Expatriate our people kind of thing, or they've got countermeasures to get through. Let us through.
But they're a couple of jumps away from.
Yeah, they're potentially
from Coriolis.
Because if you jumped out into Iwas, could then go around to the other portal gate and go to Kua, like one jump away.
Right. It'd be a fun ride, right?
Yeah. Well, from the look of the bridge and the folks there, it was a big ship. Big ship. Like they're prepared to. This collection that she's maybe rendezvoused with, like she's already made a jump with, and is nervous about making another one. Or like they've met her and jumped out. Yeah, they could be in the mirror system just getting ready.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Okay. And then I assume I come out of my stupor. I'll go over to, while it's in my head, I'll go over to the sensor panel and just see if there are any big Zenithian ships in the system that we can tell.
In the mirroring system. I'm not sure.
There are 74.
There are a lot of Zenithian ships. While Yusuf's doing that, Shanaz has had a luxurious bath, not blocked any toilets.
Not one.
Not one. Not stolen any small toiletries or fruit.
I mean, I have corrupted the youth a little.
Was there ulterior motives to corrupting the youth, or were you genuinely just being like bad Auntie Shanaz?
I kind of wanted to be a little bit nice to the poor kid. I mean, imagine being insulted as a bad singer in front of a famous guest. How gutting would that be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'll teach Alex some tricks for how to get around it.
Okay.
How to fake being a good singer. I don't know. Maybe I'm teaching her freestyle rap or something.
Jazz. Look, if you can't sing, what we need to do is jazz.
Can you just role play that bit out for us? That'd be awesome.
Because I would have to join it. I can't do that.
That's the best part.
No, it's not. Nobody's.
That can be on the bloopers reel.
Yeah, because this is all. Yeah.
Sounds good.
But she genuinely, after a little while, lets like the very small amount of courtesan guard down and enjoys the wine she brought and chats. She's where is she from? I don't know. A very long way away. She's come from. Yastapal, the Yastapal system, which is a very long way away. Lots of jumps.
See, the way I see it, her being put in this position is either some kind of punishment or some kind of lesson. If it's a punishment, then the best way to take the sting out of it is to make it not punishing. And if it's a lesson, then she was supposed to get this class tuition from me about what it's actually like out there in the really real world, and not the picture perfect ideal of this is what it's like to be a courtesan and it's all great and wonderful.
Yeah, maybe one way or the other.
So if they're bastards, I'm radicalizing the youth, and if they're not, then I'm actually delivering the lesson they wanted me to do.
Comply or corrupt. It's 50-50. But she seems genuinely delighted and quite happy to tell you as much as she can. And she's obviously not had anybody sort of talk to her as a person rather than as a student. The potential competition for graduation and that kind of stuff. So she has a wonderful afternoon. At some point, you get some stupid pictures. You can hear your tabula in your belongings chime. You know it's the notification of photographs.
Yeah, I don't doubt that I have a special notification for when the two of them send pictures.
Yeah, special alert.
What you would make of them? Just a bunch of random selfies.
There must be a level of endearment that comes from them now. It's like, oh, bless, they're breaking shit.
Oh, look, they're in a lovely room and they're ruining it.
We're trying to take baby.
Yeah. And then after a short while, like there must be like a bell or like a summoning kind of thing that the girl Jessica's like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. Like I should preempt these kind of things. They should never ring the bell to make me and she like runs wet-footed down the corridor. You're left alone in the bath for a few moments, and she comes back, suitably returned to that prim and sort of courtesan student demeanor. Halima will treat you for dinner. I'm to ask any allergies, dietary restrictions, calorie, macro needs. She reels off like the standard sort of stuff. And your guest will be here this evening. If you need any tabula, she reels off like study aids. Like, do you need any of those things brought for afterwards? Scholar Mansouri will present findings on some of her latest studies afterwards. If you need to make and then she goes into like, we have the communication suite. If you need to make any contacts, if you need to I can go and fetch additional clothing. If you let me know where your vessel is, and she goes into like you're a guest. Dinner has been made. There's no point where there's an assumption you're not going to stay for dinner. Like it wasn't an invite. It was this is happening.
So you are staying for dinner.
Yeah.
It's interesting that your guest and Scholar Mansouri were mentioned separately as well. I shall thank her, fire across my good contract dietary requirements, the ones which are like the bare minimum of it's fine, really, I don't have any.
I mean,
And not this client's an asshole, prepare to receive a 14-page document.
and Ryder, and
Yeah.
of all the places to expect exacting sort of dietary requirements, you could do it at the Courtesan Academy. They must have like macro balanced meals for all their students, depending on
Absolutely sure, but this again is a test, of course. Will I be awkward about it, or will I smooth the passage of this meeting?
And then she endeavors off. She tells you where the comm suite is, or if you need to contact anyone. And she makes away and lets you know in a few hours food will be served. She tells you where a room was available with all the garments and makeup and accessories you might need, based on latest Mirren fashion, all to your requirements kind of stuff. And then obviously has to go off and instruct kitchens and other courtesans who are doing all the types of training to prepare these things.
Perfect, lovely, thank you. So yes, I shall finish my bath. I try very hard not to drink any of it.
That the boys rubbing off on you?
No, that's the horrible alien fungal parasite growing inside my soul.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's another thing I kind of wanted to bring up with them, but not until I get to someone a little bit further up the food chain.
Fine. And as it is 5 to 11, is there anything before we wrap up? Do we contact each other? Do we wait while Shanaz?
Yeah, I'll pick up my messages while I'm getting changed and drying my hair.
I would say to Silsilla, Nadina's on a big Zenithian ship. They are about to run. They said they need to run the blockade and get it back to Coriolis ASAP to the Astavan, which is bad, right?
So, you explain.
And they're worried that I'll just explain the whole, quickly, blah, blah, blah. I said we need to call Shanaz. We need to get out of here.
So I think we go the other way. Like,
really?
we don't know what the Blue Rose is. He said they're on like a huge warship. And they're going to Coriolis. So we know where they're going, but if we chase them, we don't know what we're looking for.
It's true.
We go the other way to Oedicon, find out what it is, and then go and get it.
Yeah, unless it's like destroy the planet thing. I don't know. They were worried about what would happen when they went through portal space, which makes me think it's something
Portal space related.
Egg-like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, if we go and figure out what it is, Oedicon's not far, is it? So.
No, it's that way.
Yeah.
I think we should talk to Shin.
3 stops.
It's a bit of a trip.
I mean, it's literally 3 stops to Cure as well, so I don't mind. We can discuss it with Shanaz and see what she thinks. But I think we can't chase the wild goose without knowing what it is. Because, like, by the time it gets to Cure or Coriolis,
I'll patch her in.
Yeah, no one's going to be calling it the Blue Rose because they know what it actually is.
Sure. Hey, Shanaz.
Hello, boys.
Blah 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 blah.
Exposition.
Really like abruptly down. Just like boom.
Well, you be busy.
Yeah, I'm assuming you know what the Astaban is, right?
I think so. Yes. Do I know Astaban?
Sounds like some sort of shadowy, nasty group or something.
Zenithian secret police?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Oh, yeah. I hate those fuckers.
So it's the anti-pariah armor.
Yeah.
So they're not sure what will happen to the Blue Rose when it goes through portal space, which makes me think it's something butterfly. And it came from Oedicon where there was the portal wars, right? Yep. So like big weird shit.
So it's a lingering thing from the portal wars, and they want to take it to the Astaban, who are the anti-pariah secret police of the hegemony.
Big war kicking off, right? Because the pariah are looking loads of places down.
Well, if she's got it, she kind of owes us a favor. So the least she could do is have a conversation with us and swap information, maybe see if you can stop them before they do the run.
It just occurred to me, might be what collapses a portal.
That'd be bad.
Yeah.
If they fly through the portal here and collapse it, that'd be very bad.
But
We don't want
it's
that.
from the Portal Wars, so bad
Maybe.
technology. Yeah, they're taking it. I mean, they could use it to just trap.
Although maybe the portal war thinned the the veil between here and there, and stuff pops through.
Yeah, I don't know. Chasing them is I don't know what we would do because they're on a huge warship. So we could
Reach out and talk to them.
We jump ahead of them crazily when they come out of portal space. We blow them up.
Blew up a many warship.
I mean,
No.
They're all in stasis, right? You drop someone on board while they're all asleep.
Probably afford an AI.
Damn it.
Yeah, again.
Give them a call. It's the easy option. Give them a call. Tell them what to expect on the other side with the pariah and the warships and the fleet.
Before
They know about the blockade and everything.
I'm sure
all
they
that
do.
shit.
But as a good faith gesture.
Are we on their side?
I mean, you are a Zenithian.
I mean,
Can we?
I was
Hi.
I was debating the opposite and saying, why don't we just send a bunch of messages to the blockade saying, haha, we're coming back through, just so they kind of step up their security. We don't know what they have, so I suppose. But
It's true, but then we run the risk of losing it when they get destroyed and have it taken from them.
Yeah, I kind of want to see that battle. That'd be quite cool, right?
I mean, we don't know what it is, so maybe you're right. Maybe we ask her what it is. You can talk to her in her mind.
Well, she might still be in system. I'm checking the sensors to see if there's the big ship.
Is it tech for that?
I think as it's 11 o'clock, we can find out next week.
Okay.
Bum,
I was trying to get to a point where we're going one way or the other way, so it'd be easier to prep.
No, it's fine. I know what's one way. I just need to prep the other way. If you go.
Okay.
Then.
Yeah, and then if you do, I have to double check the book. But I can
Okay.
I've made some good notes this week. I've made some good
Cool.
notes.
Yeah, give them a call. Say, hey, how's it going?
I think we'll call them at the beginning. Maybe the episode ends with us, if we can see them, calling them.
Oh, that WMD, yo.
Have you got a WMD? Have you got a real one? Is it real?
Press the button there.
Lie and pretend you know how it works.
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't even know what it is, though. That's the thing. We're just guessing at what it is.
I love the guessing though. I'm like, I should make some notes of these guesses,
Yeah.
just in case I need to change.
Or I
words.
say, how's the blue rose? And as she thinks about it, I read her mind.
Nice.
I mean, we got 21 darkness points. What's 23, right?
Yeah. At some point, that's really going to come back to kill us all horribly.
All right. So, I think the call ends not because or at least the group chat ends, not because we've come to a conclusion of the chat. We're still debating it. But there is an incoming call to the Kudat Batilla addressed to Kashar. Like a voice, like a video call. Kashar, Shah, Kudat Batilla kind of call. And that's where we end. And maybe it's like Silsila and Yusuf going, shit, it's the person who owns what? Don't touch the screen. Or something. Yeah, it's not us. Do we answer? Kind of stuff. No, I guess you're not. Sup? All right.
No, it's a wrong number.
This is the Batilda Kuat.
Batilda Kuat. Yeah. But yeah, there's an incoming call for Kashar from in system, and that's what bumps the call. But yeah, thank you very much for playing Coriolis with me this evening. Coriolis, Missy the Icons Part 2, The Last Cyclade, Act 2, Cyclade Dance, Curse of Russia Part 2. Join us next week for Part 3. There we go. It's Tuesday, which means we went to space today, but tomorrow
We're hammering war.
going to sea.
Har har fiddly dee.
Yeah. As far as I'm just checking the Discord chat. I think so.
Excellent.
Yep. I think it's on.
Excellent. Join us in Discord.
Yep.
To find out more information. And that would be Wednesday, Warhammer Wednesday, and then Thursdays.
Thursday we are going to be doing Traveller character creation for Look to Spinward, but it will not be streamed live. We will be starting the show the following week. We're just going to have an in-depth character creation session that we're going to record and we're going to release to our patrons after the show's, started.
This character creation in Traveller is brilliant fun.
It is great fun. And then we've got the, where is it? Hang on, let me get this out. Because Ben will be interested in this one. We've got the companion, Traveller companion, which has an alternative system, which we're not going to use because it's a bit more of a traditional character creation process, but I don't want to use that. But it has some additions to the life path.
Okay.
Where instead of picking university or military academy, you could, for example, start off on a psionic community.
I hope the options go from silent community to paper round.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Traveller, so you probably could. Excellent.
Yeah. It's fun.
Cool. So not live, but we will be doing stuff. So again, join us on Discord, and you could probably find out like secrets and stuff ahead of time.
It'll be like a week later, won't it? So that we can fix it in post.
Yeah.
I remember I rolled up a character on screen and then played a completely different one because I didn't like them.
Yeah.
And then we got Karen. She's great.
Yeah.
She was brilliant. So that's Thursday, but Thursday in the future. In the meantime, there is a whole bunch of cool stuff over on YouTube that can fill your Thursdays. And I don't think even if you started Thursday morning, you would catch up by Thursday evening because there's a lot of stuff out there. And if you want other secret things like Kashar's character sheet, I think that's on the Patreon. Like this person who's being called, maybe one of the people who are calling her. Who knows? Their character sheets are up on Patreon as well as the details. Yeah, I know a character sheet's over there.
No one can see my arm.
I know a character sheet's over there.
It's over there.
Like I know, but it's the cool artwork.
But you and Pete are the data nerds. You can work out how many hours of video there is.
Probably could.
I ain't doing numbers.
But yeah, if you want to find
I
out,
just colour in dots.
Kashar's character sheet, the Kuda Patilla, some other cool things from I think Roads and Ruins stuff is on there, and Gartopias are on there. They were brilliant.
If you go back far enough, you've got free D&D subclasses for the monk, the bard, based on Planescape, and other things.
All kinds of amazing stuff over on Patreon. And it's very warm. I'm going to go and put some ice in my cup, and we will see you tomorrow, later, anon. Bye, folks.